Today we're going to do a meditation verse and focus on really breaking it down and what it means for us and practice meditating on its full meaning for us. A lot of times with these verses, and you can do that with any verse in the Bible, really. So a lot of times what you have to do is pick a verse, spend some time with it, and the Lord will sort of help give you insight into what the verse means for you. Sometimes you could spend 5 minutes on it and you can gain some insight. Sometimes you might have to spend a good hour or even longer. This was an idea that was given to me by a friend of mine. And she said that a lot of times when she struggles with really getting into the Word and really trying to get into what the Lord has to say, that this is a good way to do it. So I started putting it into practice and would like to share it with you. So the verse that we're going to use today is Luke 10:19. And that verse says, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. So let's go ahead and break that down. At first glance, you would look at it and say, what? You're going to give me the authority to go outside and step on snakes and scorpions and not get bit? But deeper introspection with this verse, I don't think that's what it's talking about. What is another thing that snakes and scorpions could represent in the spirit world that we are in? Could be forces of evil, could be different spirits of maladies or different spirits that are causing us to sin and pull away from the Lord, or different circumstances in life that might be harming us and really creating a struggle for us personally. For example, let's say you're getting into an argument with your best friend and you no longer speak to each other and you're really angry and bitter and hurt. Maybe that represents a snake or scorpion that's part of your life. You'll really need to spend some time figuring out what you think snake and scorpion might mean for you. For me, snakes and scorpions have a lot to do with the enemy. It has a lot to do with circumstances in our lives right now that create dissent or pull us away from the Lord. Maybe finances, maybe things that are going on in the political arena, maybe arguments that we're having with our children, or arguments we're having with our spouse, or troubles that we're having in church, that kind of thing. So think about what snakes and scorpion mean to you. Now, what's really cool is that this verse says that we have the authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and over all, A-L-L, big capital word letters here, all the powers of the enemy. We have the authority to trample over all the powers of the enemy. This is a gift that God has given us through the death of Jesus and his resurrection and the gift of the Holy Spirit that we received. That we actually have the authority to do this, to be able to pray, to be able to speak against snakes and scorpions in our lives and all of the powers of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. What's important about that verse is to really Really try to take in what that means. When you are fully focused on the Lord, when God is your primary focus and that is who you are connected with, anything can happen in life. But your mind is so transformed by the power of the Lord and by your relationship with Him that you can see things in such a way that bitterness, a lot of anger, hurt, pain, that kind of thing is different. It will not have the same power over you that it would have if you were trying to do everything on your own accord. So let's try. What I want you guys to do is to take this verse, put it on a note card or a piece of paper, and recite it a number of times. Try to memorize it. Speak it to yourself, and really just speak it over and over, and spend time with the Lord. Ask the Lord, what does this mean for me and for my relationship with you? And really spend time with the Lord looking at the details of this verse. And this verse can go so deep if you just spend time with the Lord, really resolving what that is for you. So I'm going to say this verse again, and I would like you to go ahead and proceed with your meditation. Write it on a note card. Spend maybe at least 5 minutes after you watch this video really going over this verse in your life. So it is Luke 10:19. I have given you the authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and over all of the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. And you can even change the words a little bit to fit your life, what you're going through right now. So you can pray it over yourself and really have it fit your life. If you want to say, my struggles with so-and-so instead of a snake or scorpion, or the things that I see on the news, or something like that, feel free to do that. Really just spend time with the Lord on that verse. If you liked today's video, feel free to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you.